vintage hotels are always in my search, and definitely I think I need to ensure, even though I have been a repeat customer with vintage hotels, I need to make sure that I'm aware of what's out there. Sometimes our group wants to look at different areas within southwestern Ontario, but I find, at least for the last number of years, when I do go to an RFP, I always end up back here at Pillar and Post.
Vintage Inns has had a very, very good reputation for years, and when you come to a vintage hotels, you don't have surprises. You get what you pay for. I mean, we're in the Prince of Wales at the moment, and I was just going around the building. The building is stunning. The flowers are all out there. I mean, it is gorgeous. And you really get a sense of the old world when you're in Niagara-on-the-Lake, and that's what vintage hotels supplies you with. Other hotels, you're not necessarily in a resort setting in the middle of a town. You're at a golf resort, you're on the water, so Vintages is kind of very, very different on its own, that you're kind of away from Toronto. You're not in a resort, but you are in a resort town.
I believe it really comes down to service. The people that greet you as you walk in the door, the people that meet your needs for your meeting room. I think also with vintage hotels, as I mentioned, character. You walk into each one of the hotels, they have a unique experience. So depending on what the need is, you may choose Pillar and Post, I may choose Queen's Landing, but I always find that it's important to have character in a hotel, and you don't often see that in some of the big name hotels. They anticipate your needs, they're always there to ask questions. Sometimes they're apologizing to ask questions, but they want to make sure everything is right.
Over and above what I've expected of a Four Diamond property is the food. The food here is outstanding, and we get lots of compliments. And again, the reason I would say that is because if we're here for a 3-day program, we don't get the same breakfast every day. They vary that for us. So they've thought of those things. Our lunch packages vary for every lunch, so it's always fresh, it's new, it's exciting for them to come and eat, and that's what you want.
Well, they do quite an amazing job, because one of the first persons or people that would actually hear it from the client if they didn't do a good job would be me, because they would get back from their meeting, and I always called them anyways, and I would hear the comments that this didn't go right, or prior to them going to the meeting, they're not getting back to me, the BOs are not done. That's something that I never hear about. When I send clients here, they can sleep at night and I don't need to worry. So the entire team, they do a fantastic job, and they know what they're doing. So I have full confidence for my clients when they come to vintage hotels. They're going to get their merchandise, and it's going to work.
Conference team is excellent. You can have a meeting room, and a meeting room, again, we always say is a meeting room, but they really listen to what your extra needs are. For instance, with the setup for our meeting, we need a lot of space for a participant, a lot of extra material, laptops, and ultimately, they met that need. The actual setup looked too large, but really it wasn't, because they listened to what my need was, and they identified it and said, we need extra tables in here to accommodate this request. Oh, definitely a partnership. We speak a number of times leading up to the conference, and then when I arrive, there's always someone from the conference team to meet with me, go over last minute items, looking at, is there anything that has come up in the last day or two that we need to adjust, and if there is, they make it happen. They're in this business and they know the business, but again, they think, I believe, of every meeting, every conference as almost being their first, and how can we wow this client to ensure that it's the best event that they have.
Conference service teams is one of the fortes here at Vintage Hotels. Anytime we've been assigned an operations lead person, they introduce themselves, and anytime when you're going through that whole planning process, they're always right there. For example, sometimes you're on the phone, things come up and you're planning your meetings, changes come up. It's as if I'm the only customer to them. If I have to leave a message, it's always returned promptly. They're able to handle and switch gears, even though I know they're looking after other clients as well. You never get that feeling that you're just a cog in the wheel.
They've been here for a long time, they know what they're doing, and they know that the client is gold, and they know how to service the clients. And that's what I like. They're not big properties. They're just the perfect size for a client to feel that they're one of the only clients on premise. So the attention is geared towards them, and they do a very, very, very good job at that. Being smaller properties, I mean, when you lift your hand, one of the staff will actually see you and come and help you out. So that's what this is all about here. They take care of their clients.
Now, the operations team, I would say, is the Vintage Hotel's biggest asset. Working with that team has been remarkable. And from the banquet captains to the manager of events, here in particular at this property, have been outstanding. They will get to know us so well that they anticipate what we need and act appropriately. And it's a pleasure to be on site with when the program is taking place. On many occasions, they've made us look good. We've had some unusual requests where we've had events in the evening. We had some people on staff that needed last-minute things off the internet. They went over and above, got that printed for me, returned it to the room within minutes. Made a lot of people happy in the room, and I would consider that over and above. That's not a typical service that you would ask out of any hotel staff.
We're meeting site locators, and so we find the locations for corporations and associations to hold their meetings at throughout Canada and the U.S. We book over 1,000 meetings a year, and they do a good job, and I like it, and it's a pleasure dealing with these properties.
As a hotel, to be successful, you need to have the right people. You need to have people who enjoy coming to work every day. People have passion for customer service. I believe the staff here are well trained and enjoy coming to work. From staff early in the morning at the breakfast in the dining room to the people late at night who take care of your needs with that rose on your pillow and the turn down of your bed. Everyone seems happy to be here, and that's what's important.